guys, 1 second, please. That's good. All right, that's working. Okay, that looks good. Go back to that for a minute. Come here, you. I don't know why that's on 58%, but it is, so we'll plug in the charger and get this on charge. 1 second. Need a cord? Oh, we're charging. Yay. I don't think I need to change to do that. There we go. And it says I'm live as well. Isn't that great? Extra battery if I need it. We got our thanks for that. Okay, guys. Welcome. I'm going to be watching mostly on my bigger machine. Okay. Okay. We need to redo this. There we go. All right. Sometimes. Welcome to Chez Judy. Welcome to the fact that I'm going to be sitting back and relaxing. I just cleaned my oven. Okay? Slow day in the neighborhood. I'm going to bring out my big pot for the onion soup. We're going to get some tomato sauce going. We're going to get some pizza going. Okay. We got my big pot. There it is. Big monstrosity. Had that since graduated from the culinary. Hopefully my sound is good. I got some chew high with me. Since we're making pizza sauce, we're just going to literally put stuff together. But before we get the pizza sauce going, because we're going to do 2 batches today, let me back this up and stand this up because I can't see it from the back of this anymore. Okay, you might see the mic. I am looking at getting a mic for the lapel, but I don't have one yet. Sauce goes in this pot. Onion soup in this pot. We have that. We'll break out the knife and the onions, which are over there in a minute. Got the recipe up on the site now. That's good on the stream. I will go over the method. Everything is there that you need. So we're doing a double batch because we're going to set up focaccia to be baked tomorrow morning and probably to finish the proof. But we're going to let proof in the oven tonight. So we're going to need our enamel pan. We're going to need 2 more pans right here. And that gives us our focaccia, which I will put up top in a minute. Get it out of the way. So we have that. We need pizza pans. So We got pizza stone. That'll handle one large. And then I just finished washing the other two pans for making bread. So we've got our pans for the bread. Nice. I have some yeast already growing in some warm water. This place, by the way, does not have hot water. So I am using a little water heater that we have for that. So I basically take hot water, split it just a little bit less than half with cold water from the tap. That gives me my warm water for my yeast. Basically, if it's warm to the touch, lukewarm, you're good. So we have our pans for the pizza, because we have to proof the pizza dough. So there we go. Our mise en place for the pizza is ready. Mise en place, everything in its place. So we have that nice and dry. Put that on this table way over here. You'll get to see that in a minute. We'll take the focaccia pans and we'll put that also on top of the pizza pans. Because I'd like to get all the dough working basically at one time, because it's got to sit in here on proof. And you can see I did the washing because we're on efficient care control, maintenance status, blah, blah, blah. We're at the cleanliness section. There we go. We're ready. So nice to have all these gadgets. You don't need the gadgets. I have the gadget. All right. We have our calamari. I think we got this for 600 yen for 3 rebags. So that was a pretty good price. Only problem I find with what they did is they actually put a styrofoam tray underneath the IQF bag. Not sure why they did that, but they did. So where are we? We're ready to add in the flour and the salt to the first batch of bread dough. Then we'll get the second batch going, and I have everything I need on the table here for that. I'll give you a little trick we learned with North Swiss in a minute. Okay, that's tomato sauce, that's here. Don't need a scale for this recipe. I will scale it, but it's going to be based on bread flour, not all-purpose. Slightly different amounts in weight, but that's okay. All right, so let's go over what we have. By the way, I'm doing double batches, and yes, you will be able to see the microphone. Sorry guys, I don't have a lapel mic yet. I will at one point. So let's move the mic. Hopefully that works. I don't want to pick it up because I have the mic stand balanced. So how does this look? Okay, we're good here. Just let me move this over slightly, aim it down, try and aim it down where we are. There we go. Okay. Get the top out of the way. All right, guys, we have our onions. These onions are grown by our neighbor, Shokun. Thank you, Shokun. These are not new. We have new ones in the house. All right, this one we need for here. That goes in this batch. All right, other than the flour, because I can scoop my flour, 4.5 teaspoons of yeast, dry active, 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Any oil will work. Canola oil is really good for it too. Sugar, salt, all in the recipe. So we're ready to go with all of that. I just have to measure out the water. And I will show you how I do that in a little bit. But the yeast has actually exploded. So let me move you over to the yeast. Like I said, laid back today, guys. It's been a very interesting few days with Golden Week here in Japan. Oh, will this make it? Come on. Come on, you. Come on. Yes, this will make it. I have an extension cord now for the camera. So I'm so excited. Okay, let's go down. I would have moved the mixer over, but it's a 3-prong mixer. And my extension cord does not take 3 prongs. Sometimes we do what we have to do. And I feel like Carrie Holtzman. My wires are going to be all over each other again. Which is okay. Alright. Hopefully that's working. I cannot tell, guys, if the volume is perfect or not. I do not have a sound band to check OBS. Sorry about that. That's just a fact of life right now. Hopefully one day somebody will be here watching the stream while I'm placing it, while I'm putting it out. But I don't have that right now, so I'd like to. Trust me. I would. A bag of alfalfa that we're planting goes on top. All right. We can move you in and drop you. There we go. I gotta get a light on that. Our mixing cup goes here. All right. Let me show you what we got. I don't know if you can see it. But there it is. The yeast is growing. It's live. Okay, it's not Memorex. Yep, there you go. Coming in much nicer now. We need 4 cups of flour per recipe, so we're going to need 8. Let's move that to the back. There we go. You're going to need 8 of these. You can hold back a little bit, depending if you've not done this before, but I know we're going to use all 8. Been making a lot of pizza. 2. 3. 4. 5. and the salt, we're going to put that on top of the flour so it doesn't touch the yeast right away. That up. Start it on low. Don't start it on high, guys. You're going to end up with flour everywhere. I'm using a dough hook. Life is good. That's from yesterday's bread. Caraway seed. Made whole rye yesterday, guys. That's it. We got 10 minutes, guys. So we'll pull up the clock. There we go. Nice. Okay. All right, let's take her up. We'll wipe everything down as we go. We want it nice and neat. Take it up. There we go. Hey Neil, how you doing, buddy? It's going to take a little bit to get to the calamari, though. Guys, if you're looking to become an EMT or learn something about EKGs, Neil Holtz is the man. Now, if I was working in a commercial kitchen, I would probably walk away from the machine. Because they have locks that lock down on the holder. On your bowl. They have bowl locks that hold it in place. But this KitchenAid Professional line, Pro line, doesn't come with any of that. So I have my timer going. By the way, Neil also makes some seriously seriously good smoked products, pastrami, etc., etc. And his wife is a spectacular caterer out in Atlanta. So there you go. So we're just going to mix this until it's ready. Push it to the side, lay in more water, put the yeast back in. So we're just going to roll this out of the bowl. We're going to put it out of this bowl, put it into a regular stainless bowl, set the oven up for proofing. Come back and do this one more time. Which in the end is why I want a nice big 20-quart Hobart. Neil, let me know if my volume's good, because I cannot check it. Because when I go in to check the levels, I'm not here talking. You can hear this machine crying, guys. Halfway through the mix. So guys, I'm showing this right now is live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. In the end, I'm probably going to be just on Twitch. And I'm hoping to get to the point where we can do this 3 times a week, 4 times a week. But I gotta get the views to do that, guys. But tomorrow I'm going to buy more yeast, sweet dough yeast. Do you need it? Not really. You can use regular yeast, but SAF makes yeast that is specifically done for sweetbreads, cinnamon rolls, Danish. So we're going to get to that. This is 100% bread flour, guys. I don't carry all-purpose. And I don't have a second camera, so if I move the camera, I have to move the mic. And I really don't feel like doing any of that. But it doesn't look too bad with the auto settings from my GoPro. You can see she just, rather than knead it by hand. And yes, some people swear by kneading by hand. Good for them. Earlier today, the family was out looking at the fields, making sure that we're ready because everybody around us is getting ready to put rice in the fields. We're getting ready to put alfalfa in the field. So I had to run around one of the fields today and get ready to bring out the bush hog, a big huge flail mower. And then we're going to run it through one of the field I want to plant, as well as one of the other fields. Focaccia, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you had a good dinner. Guys, I gotta take off for 1 second. I'll be right back. Actually, I'll do that in a couple of minutes. Let me finish this part up. Ah, Rob Belinach. Well, good morning, sir. How are you? Welcome, welcome. "16 seconds to go, guys." There you go. Timer's done. So, let's pull this off. We've got one more batch to go. I'll show you how I'm getting the hot water and the cold water and making my lukewarm. Move that over for a second. I'll be right back. I need to handle somebody on Twitch. Okay guys, thanks for being patient. Sometimes some people say the wrong things. Totally. In this case, there was no point in going any further. He wanted to be a total obnoxious person. I'll let him be an obnoxious person in his own world. So let me move the mic. Yes, I've been looking into lav mics, guys. They're expensive. The good ones are expensive. All right, swing it, because I can't swap. All right, we need a bowl. Okay. Okay, we got our bowl. Right here. Move this over a little bit. And now I'm going to do a cheat. Yeah, he's done. All right. Now I'm going to do a little bit of cheating, guys. Perfect. Instead of oiling the bowl, I'm going to use a little bit of Pam spray or vegetable spray. However you want to put it. That's not Pam. Pam is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Use one of those sprays, and you'll be good. Drop that in. There we go. Because we're going to have to just let that grow. Put this back over because we're going to run it the second time straight up. So we'll cover it in some plastic for the time being. And we'll move it over to be staged to go into the oven. All right. 750 milliliters. That's 450. Here's the yeast I'm using. Saf Blue. Red Star Instant Yeast, guys. These are the guys who make it. Let me show you how I do my order. We use one of the Instapots here. I'm going to take it to the 350 milliliter line. Because it's fast. And then I'm going to 300 on this, 450 of cold, and I'll have the water I need. At lukewarm. And no, you do not have to have everything staged like I have staged it. Okay? Alright, so we put that in. We're going to add in the sugar. I know this is sugar. If you do not know, taste it. Because if you add salt to your coffee, and they look similar, guys, if you're not looking carefully, you're not going to be happy. That I promise you. Sugar. We're going to add the yeast. We're going to add the oil to just get that out of the way, all the liquids together. We're going to start so it all gets nicely mixed. Then we're going to put it on the mixer and just let it sit until it starts growing. Again, this should be second nature. We need 8 cups of flour. We can put it in here. Make our lives faster this time. One. Two. Three. 5. 6. 7. And that's 8. There you go. Put that by the mixer so it's ready to go. Add the salt to the flour. Not in the area where it's going to touch the yeast first. This will go in the sink. Clean as you go. Clean as you go. Oh man, we're gonna have to buy some more bread flour soon. My second batch of Yep. No. The best yeast to use is, and this is coming from Mordecus, the best yeast to use is actually live yeast. Most people cannot find live yeast. So the next best would be dry instant. This one you have to make sure you let it grow and do its thing. Red Star instant yeast, you do not have to. The gold yeast I was talking about earlier, this is your SAF Instant Gold. It probably comes in the same canister. as this one, but these are little packets, so when you see packets, that's what they're talking about. People write recipes with what they know, and in this case, they're talking about packets. So SAF comes this way. It comes in vacuum seal packs. It comes in the cans like I have. You can buy packaged yeast in many different ways and from a bunch of different manufacturers. So, yeah, I need to put a light over here. Let me move over the mic again. So I can get the camera back in play. Okay. Man, if I had a film crew, life would be so much easier. Guys, anybody want to come here and play with me, my film crew? I'd be more than grateful. All right, let's go down. As you can see, my yeast is still alive. That is one of the reasons why we do it. Okay, so my yeast is now growing nice. We'll get this out of the way for a second because it's all going to be good in 2 seconds. Pull this over. And yes, guys, this will be the last thing I do in this corner. Okay, salt goes in last with the flour. We do not want it touching the yeast directly. It will kill the yeast. That is its main job, guys. The main job of flour is to control the yeast. All the rest of it is secondary. So everybody who's telling you, oh, you don't need the flour, they're right, you don't. You're just allowing an uncontrolled experiment to happen. And I don't like uncontrolled experiments. They cause problems. And then you have to figure out what the problem was and how to fix it. And it's easier if it's controlled. And bakers have been doing this for years. And then some. So let's set our timer. Crank it over again on low. Start the timer. You don't need a timer. All you need is a clock. Thanks for the answer. Thinking of buying a don't eat pizza oven and learning to make it. You don't need a pizza oven. You can use your own oven. 400 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever that is in Celsius. I do believe it's somewhere around, you can bake it at 350 too. So 350 degrees, 220, 230 degrees Celsius, depending. I have it in my notes. It's in the recipe. If you want the oven, go for it. I've never had a fancy oven in my life till now. And this fancy oven is ridiculously priced, guys. It is absolutely 100% ridiculously priced. And I love it. Yeah, so we'll let this run as it starts to absorb all of the flour. We'll crank it up. Again, because I'm using non-commercial tables or counters, this is more like off-site premise catering, which is cool. I've been doing that for many years. Right now, as we're still setting up, but this pandemic has slowed that down, and rightfully so, guys. We're still on lockdown. The Prime Minister of Japan just asked us to not go out much over Golden Week, which is the biggest holiday going in Japan. And yet, so we've been housebound now except for shopping for a while, and trust me, we're not even shopping hard. We were planning a run to Costco and we canceled. Costco for me is 2+ hours one way. Restaurant Depot, not a thing here. Let's take it up. So when I do make it back to the States, I'm hitting Restaurant Depot, guys. They've got some stuff in there I want to get my hands on. Last time I made it into Restaurant Depot, I came out with dry basil, 5 kilos of really good dark chocolate from Calabar, baking soda, baking powder, some Paul Prudhomme spice mixes. There we go. And when we get the proof done, guys, when I get the proofing going, you will see why we're going to be doing onion soup at the same time. By the way, Rob, if you're still watching, one of the reasons I like this oven that we have now is I can use it as a steamer or as a roast or as a regular convection oven, or I can use it in combination. And we're going to try something in the oven today because we're trying to cut down on our fat use in the house, and we are making pizza today. Oh well, we haven't really pounded it, so this is like once every 2 weeks now. So less than 5 minutes. Yeah, so we're going to make our sauce right after we get this in the oven. And then tomorrow, we'll have the focaccia ready. But you do, if you're making bread, unless the recipe says otherwise, you usually put it on the mixer at medium high, and there's no difference on this mixer, for 10 to 12 minutes for most doughs. So if you're making regular rolls, hard rolls, or any of that, unless it's specified to do it differently, because you're looking for a very soft, non-glutinous dough, then yeah, 10 to 12 minutes. Hardest part about making a bread dough making sure your yeast is alive. And it's very hard on the regular market to buy live yeast. And here in Japan, they're using, the bakeries around here are using dry active yeast. So it's perfectly viable, guys. If the weather keeps holding the way it is, probably this weekend I'm going to start a sourdough starter. I have rye flour over there, and so I'm going to steal a cup of rye flour and we're going to start doing that. See, once it balls up, we're really good. She's clean, the sides are clean, the sides of the bowl are really clean. So we know we got the right amount of water, we got the right amount of flour. So let's discuss this. The active ingredients: warm water, live yeast. We need something for the yeast to eat, to grow fast. And flour is basically sugar. So we add sugar to it so the yeast goes, oh my God, this is the best thing ever invented in life. Gets really excited, splits and splits and splits and grows and grows and grows, and the salt goes in to say, hey, you guys need to be stopped. You're growing too fast. And we develop the gluten by kneading it, and the dough hook I'm using allows it to be kneaded without having to do it for 30 minutes by hand. And I know people who want to do that. God bless them. I don't have time or the energy or the gumption to want to do that. 22 seconds left, guys. If the dough is sticking to the sides or is not coming up into a ball, you have to add more flour. If it's too hard, you need to put in a drop or two at a time of water till you get the proper consistency. There we go. That's it. Down we go. I'll remove the microphone. Yes, like I said, I'm looking at a lav mic. But from what I understand, the best lav mics on the market are Sony. And these Sony mics, for a set of sender and receiver, $500. That's one mic. Wireless. So yeah, that's a little bit out there now, guys. Okay? But I think we're going to have to redo the audio before I go more for the video again. Because I really do want this to become a thing. Okay? It'd be really nice if this was a thing. Trust me. Alright, let's move this here. Let's aim it in now. We're about to kick over the oven. For that, we're going to have to do a little bit more work. What do we look like? Okay, that's good. Believe it or not, Facebook is doing a better job of showing me the shots than Twitch, as far as live goes. There we go. So we'll pull out the dough hook, bring over the this is why I want to get a couple of different cameras, guys. Push that down, flatten her out just a little bit. There are recipes that say you remove it, put it in a bowl, clean your bowl, put the stuff back in the bowl. Why bother? If you're going to take it out of the bowl, leave it out of the bowl. All you're doing is if you take it out and put it back, make a bigger mess to be cleaned up. That's it. If you were running a bakery and you just had this going, you would literally just throw a floured rag over it and leave it, depending on the temperature of the building. And it would just rise. Put this in the to be washed section. All right. I don't know how many people know this oven, so let me move the mic over a little bit and I'll give you a quick, very quick rundown on the oven. The oven is not the important thing here. If you want to know how to create a proof box, ask. Creating a proof box is very, very simple. Most restaurants do it in a closet or in enclosed speed rack. And that's what they do, guys. Most restaurants, and that's going to be nice. Yep. You guys got a nice shot of the rye bread I made yesterday. There we go. Let's see how that works. Now we get to my toy. And this is my toy. Tap on it and it lights up. Look how wonderful that is. Yep, there's my rye bread. See? Because you're on the delay. Okay, how good are we at seeing this? All right, so basically, can we see it? I've got to tell rationale and actually live more. Okay, we'll get there. All right, so we've got, with this oven, steam, combination, heat, chicken, beef, or non-chicken fish. Here's your desserts section. Over here's your vegetables. Breads will be there in a second. Vegetables, again, fish, vegetables, bread. This is your breakfast, plated section, banquets. Recipes for each level in the oven, I'll show that. And our cleaning. So it tells you whether or not it needs to be cleaned due to HACCP. Okay? U.S. government and regulations. So ICC is basically your last 10 recipes that you use all the time. And right here, white bread proof. Basically, I'm doing a dry proof at 37 degrees C for an hour. That's it. Cooking cabinet is too hot, so I'm going to move the camera just a little bit. Just a little bit. Pop it open. We're going to tap this button. And it's going to make a lot of noise, guys. Like I said, we're in a build-up. My whole life is about building things. Okay, so basically, right now, the oven's cooling itself down so we can proof in it. Oh, look at that. Now it's going to tell me it wants me to close the door and start proofing. So let me finish moving the microphone. One of the reasons I want to get a lav mic, get rid of 2 cords on the floor and we go from there. All right, close it up. It's now telling me that it wants me to load. Okay, I guess it's asking me to load. So we'll add 2 grids. Come on, in you go. There we go. There we go. You'll go in the bottom grid. Probably can lay it in there without that. Can you fit in the top? No. Swap them around. And now we shall close the door. We're done. That's it. I've set up my proof box. And it will proof at 37 degrees Celsius at 65% humidity for the next hour, which is what we want. Okay. Should I get the longer plug for that? Yes, I should. Hold on, guys. I need a longer plug for the iPhone. So, yeah, technology. If I had somebody running everything and I had a huge friggin' 47-inch TV hanging on the ceiling, hanging off the ceiling, I wouldn't need to do this. I don't. There we go. All right, now I can see again. Because I want to see you guys. I want to see what you're saying. All right, let's start our sauce. Don't need you yet. We do need you. And we'll put you here, here, and here. There we go. All right, most people use most restaurants use canned tomatoes. Welcome to the canned tomatoes that we use, or I use. Here, I cannot find them in larger quantities than these cans at this time, so that's what I have to use, guys. Get the cutting board and my favorite knife. Most people I know hate this knife. I don't know why. Spectacular knife. There it is. I love my knife. Scares the living crap out of most people. Alright, so we're going to use some garlic. Going to use a little bit of olive oil. Okay, so we got olive oil. Put it in the pan. I'm going to put the pan on a low heat. And we're going to add some whole garlic. There's only one reason I'm using whole garlic right now. It's because I have a burr mixer from wearing. Phooey. So, because of the burr mixer, I don't need to chop up the garlic in this case. Alright? Otherwise, guys, I just take some garlic and chop it up a little bit and use it. But I'm going to burr mix all of this. So we're using pomodoro because it's either pomodoro or it's crushed pomodoro. Whole pomodoro peeled or it's crushed. We're using whole peeled pomodoro. If you're looking for a really good marinara mix, 3 cans of whole peeled pomodoro crushed by hand to 2 cans of, that one's no good. By the way, this garlic is homegrown or locally grown, so it's not always going to be up to snuff. There we go, we got some more. We did grow our own last year. We're going to put some more in the ground this coming fall. But I need one more clove from the clove. That always cracked me up. And then, because we're going to cook yep, you can hear it. Starting. Very low flame, medium heat normally. This pan is specifically made so that you can use very little amounts of heat. So if you're running an electric stove, and I don't care. Here's a tip. I really, truly don't care what type of stove you have. I've cooked professionally on electric. I've cooked professionally on gas. I've cooked on sterno. I really don't care what you have to cook on. A really good chef I know, she's cooking right now in a toaster oven where she is, visiting her parents during the pandemic. And she is spectacular. She's another one of those chefs most people sit there and go, oh my God, about. So we're going to open it up. I do not need here a can opener, because all the cans seem to open up this way here for the home. Okay, we're going to take some water, put it in the cans, wash out the rest that's here. Like I said, today it's all about just being laid back, enjoying cooking, enjoying being out here with all you guys, making some very basic foods that you can do this in 1 hour. I have literally, except for proofing the pizza dough, knocked pizza dough out in 1 hour. The whole pizza, I just don't let it rise. So we're going to take 3 tomatoes out of the sauce here. For the focaccia. So let me grab a bowl, come back. We're going to want to make a tomato focaccia. Going to want to make an onion focaccia. So we're going to take 1 nice, 2 nice, 3 nice plum tomatoes, put them off to the side. And yes, I have plastic gloves. And they're food grade. Add a little water, swish it around, get the rest of the tomato that they add when they do this, and add it. You should add a little bit of water anyways when you start cooking with whole tomatoes. Here you go. So that's done. We'll move that in a second. Now, I do have fresh basil growing, but I didn't get it today. Just fine, because I own a little bit, just a little bit of basil left. Had this for a little while now. Trust me, it's nice. So I'll add some basil. And we'll let it cook nice and slow for a little bit. And then we'll use our burr mixer and we'll just grind it up. Nice and smooth, guys. Nice and smooth. While that's happening, let's move everything over. Okay. Because I'm a righty. And the garbage can, because we're going to need it. So who here knows a way to stop yourself from crying that's actually workable while they are cutting a lot of onion? Or who here thinks they know a way that actually works? Because there's only one true method, and it's a wonderfully vicious method if you're cutting with somebody. All right, so let's start the onions. This pan does not work the same way as the other pan. Almost. So, let's start with these onions. We're going to need a little bit of oil. I'm not going to use olive oil for that because that's ridiculous. You don't need to use olive oil, guys. Olive oil is expensive. You want to keep it for taste. God bless you. Use it for the flavor, for the taste. Don't use it in cooking if you don't have to, or you want to save a couple of bucks here and there. And take the oil, and I'm going to turn this, I'm going to move this a little bit, and then try and aim it so you guys can see. So basically I have under the table a very, very big can of oil, and I put it in one of these. Just makes it easier to handle. So we'll fill this up later. Little oil in the bottom of the pan to remind me that we have to fill it. We're going to take the onions out. Just lay them here for a second because we're going to peel them, cut them, then go after the newer ones. Oh, boom, boom, half and down. That's it. We're going to top and bottom and split each one of them. And we're going to do this without the alcohol, guys, because I don't have any white wine on me, and I can't find anybody that has sherry anymore. The one store that had sherry in our city closed, and I haven't found it yet any place close by. So I'm now looking to replace my sherry, where I can buy the sherry, because man, I want to get sherry, I want to get some marsala, but you can go in there, crank this on, up the middle, 2-ring burner here, take it to just a little bit medium high, approximately. Use that because we know it's going to get hot and I want to be able to grab the pot top. Okay, we'll peel the onions. Yes, nothing is prepped, guys, because I'm not doing a 1-hour cooking show. If I was doing a 1-hour cooking show, I would have pizza dough already coming out of the oven, ready to be rolled, yada, yada, yada. Trust me, it makes a lot of sense if you have 1 hour to show everybody how to do something. You also have to be willing to either make a lot extra, which means you can afford it, or you're going to be chopping these shows up as you're doing the recordings. So yeah, don't do that. Like I said, I'm cooking for the house, so we're going to cook for the house. Okay, we're going to cut this. Down. I'm going to do it over here. I will be getting a much larger cutting board shortly. That is in the works. Like I said, the lockdown here stopped a few things. So, one of the items that stopped was my cutting board. One second, I'll be right back with you. Move that aside a little bit. Ah, we got music. First time I made this, it was 50 pounds of onions, guys. During lunch service. Okay, like I said, the other onions, these, they just came out of the field, guys. A couple of days ago, we got our new batch of rice. We ordered our new bag of rice, guys, so we're in good shape on rice. Can't tell you if it actually came out of our field, because I don't think he even knows. But our neighbor uses one of our fields to grow rice, and then we buy the rice directly from him, and he lives right behind us. So, nice fresh rice. And we actually clean it to, what is it, 60%, 70% hold. We make it as brown as we can get our hands on, because brown rice is healthier. And then I think once a year we'll actually clean the rice to white. We're doing, I've started doing 100% rye, because it's supposed to cut back on the amount of sugar that is in the bloodstream. And as you get older, sugar becomes more of an issue. If you don't believe me, ask an older person. I qualify now. I didn't qualify before. Now I qualify. So we'll put in some more onions. Yep, 50 pounds. So how do you cut onions and not cry? Have a window directly behind you, so it takes the air away from your eyes into somebody else's. That's it. Match? No. All the other things that they tell you to do? No. Literally be out of the airflow where the onions are being cut. And it works 100% of the time. Been toying with the idea of pulling out Escoffier and going through that and picking up and literally starting basically at the beginning of the book, each chapter of the book, where they make different items. So, soups and sauces, meats, poultry, and desserts, and doing that all the way through as much as possible. Because the one thing about Escoffier, he didn't have, when he was buying stuff, it was whatever he could get his hands on. So, and the technology they had back then. Had very little to do with, this is the only way you must do it. For what they had back then, that was how they had to do it. Now, I will not say his ingredient list is wrong, or the way you are looking to put it together is wrong. I will say that the technology of what we use now to cook has changed. So what are we doing here? We are literally caramelizing or browning the onions. One of the tricks to doing it is white wine, which is slightly sweet in content, or sherry, which is very sweet in content. It also adds a huge amount of flavor, guys, but part of it's adding sugar. So if you want to throw some sugar in, you can. I don't see a need to. I want that onion. There we go. Okay, so I got this maybe a quarter of the way up. And we'll get some more of those in a minute. So, there we go, guys. I think we're basically done. I haven't used this burner yet. Okay. Scrubbed this whole place down. Did a military on it the other day. So basically we're going to cook the living tar out of this. Our tomato sauce is coming up. This here is the Bain Marie. Every restaurant should have a Bain Marie with water in it, where you put your utensils while you're using them. One, it keeps them off the counter. Two, it keeps them clean-ish and ready to be used. Okay? It's just a good place to drop it. It's like rinsing off your spoon before you move it to someplace else. All right, so we've got that done, that done. We need to do the calamari. 35 minutes left on the proof. So what else do we need for the onion soup? Chicken stock and beef stock, or in this case, bouillon. Because I can't find bones yet. Yes, I do fully intend on making my own stock. Anybody want a recipe for how to annoy oneself for making sauces? Ask me. I love that part. So we're going to make stock. We're going to take some chicken. We're going to mix it with some beef. People will tell you it's beef. They're right. I'm going to tell you that chicken and beef makes a really, really, really good mix for onion soup. And so we're going to use a little bit of both. Okay. So this one comes in pellet form. This one comes in the cubes everybody is used to. I could have bought the chicken in cubes as well. I got more for less that way. If you want a recommendation in the United States as to what you should buy when you're looking at any of this, and you have access to Restaurant Depot, Neil, Suzanne, Rob, Leslie, Belinash, Restaurant Depot. You want to go for Miners. Chicken, beef, Miners bases are the best. Okay? They are the best at this. Would I say they beat stock? No. Would I say they last longer than stock? Yeah. Unless you have a freezer that can handle huge buckets of stock so you can continue making stuff. So, I got my Chuhai grape, 9% alcohol. Like I said, relaxation. Do not cook and drink. Do what I say, not what I do. That's a ridiculous statement. Guys, do not do it professionally. I wouldn't suggest, unless you are doing it over 2.5 to 3 hours for one, doing it at all. I love Julia Child. Julia Child was spectacular. But man, that woman could put some friggin' wine down. So, let me go. All right, guys, I got 3 books. Let's start with the oldest, Escoffier. Not the black one I went to the culinary with, but I can't find that version. So this is the next version out. This is this is the version I got where they was printed when? I mean, this thing's been around forever. He's not the first, he's not the original, but he is the one everybody does. Copyrighted 1969 for this one. Escoffier 1935. Yep, 1935. So this one was printed somewhere after that. It's kind of like abused and discolored. Use it a lot. Okay, so we went from Escoffier, there's one before him, I forgot his name. We went to Larousse. Larousse is great too. Larousse is solid, just like Escoffier. By the way, this was the textbook, excuse me, this was the textbook we used at the Culinary Institute of America. We did not use the textbook they printed. Much. And then I got this. Herring's Dictionary of Classical and Modern Cookery. Here it is, guys. That's the book I use. Anytime I'm writing a recipe, using a recipe, working on a recipe, on a menu, I go to this and I start here. Okay? Herring's is spectacular. It's small, compact, easily used. All right, we have now started the caramelization process for all of that. Our tomato sauce is working really nice. Okay, you notice how it automatically goes into there. So what is spectacular about herrings? Oh man, come here, you foil wrap thing. Put you here. So why is herring so spectacular? By the way, look at my microphone. I'm trying to keep it as high as possible. Herrings is spectacular because overall, it's a tiny little cookbook with no measurements. Okay? When I was in Germany cooking for the American Embassy Club, the chef had an older version than I did. And he would sit there and he would go through it. Hors d'oeuvres. Okay? And he would go through, let me get my glasses, I'm showing my age. Yes, just like a real kitchen. We don't keep things close. Particularly if they're going to get dirty. All right, we have anchovies fried. Anchovia frites. Fillets dipped in frying batter, fried in deep fat, dressed with fried parsley and lemon. That's it. The rest of it you need to know. You come over here to bicarade. Okay, bicarade. Bicarade. Sugar burned to caramel. Sauce bicarade. Sugar burned to caramel, moistened with orange and lemon juice, boiled down, duck stock and demi-glace added. Garnished with julienne of orange and lemon peel. There's your duck l'orange. So it gives you the base once you understand where you're going. So no, it is not for the beginner. But Escoffier is. Larousse is. Julia Child is. And I'm talking about Julia Child's French cooking that she originally published. Ready for the next one? The Joy of Cooking. Any basic, well-written book of recipes can and should be used to teach you, I need to wash my hands, how to cook. See, touch your face, wash your hands. Touch anything, wash your hands. I was watching a guy on Twitch the other day making quiche. Long hair, his hands were always in his hair. Wasn't tied back, wasn't wearing a hat, no hairnet, all over his hair, right back into the food. I wanted to kill him. Whoa! Guys, I'd say we've proved. See, even with that, you have to be careful, because as the temperature rises, so does the actual use of the dough. All right, when your dough is ready, you push on it, it leaves an indent. That's it. It's proof. This one proofed as well. You don't want to touch it and it totally deflates. Because if you do that, it is overproofed. All right, guys, we're going to shut that down. I actually had to ask them how to do that. And we're going to start working on our dough. So we'll take this off just to get that clean. Oh, look, we got air pockets. I love air pockets. Pop, pop, poppity, pop, pop. Okay. Come over here. Work with you in a minute. We got to do the cookbooks. Because we're ready to actually start making the focaccia as well as the pizza. And the onion soup is going. Calamari is totally defrosted, hopefully by now, or close enough. We might add some water to that just to allow it to be controlled while it's still caramelizing. This is going to get sticky. You can spray the plastic wrap. I didn't, and I'm going to pay for that. One of the reasons I say use a floured rag, all the newer ones, newer bakers say, no, plastic, plastic. Okay, I'm using plastic. All right, so it's down. I'll show you in a second. I just want to make sure it doesn't have a problem. So we're going to deflate it a bit. I'm going to turn this down a hair, because now it's going to get fun. Now we start pushing what we know. But Neil, if you're still watching, I want you to notice my oven works. He should get a kick out of that. Because that was friggin' hilarious. moving everything, guys, so we can get to this point. We'll move you here. We'll move this first. Now you can come. All right, aim it down. I deflated that, guys, on purpose. Okay, because we're going to have to deflate it anyways. But when you check it, you don't want it to deflate. Okay? So, there we go. How's the onions doing? Tomatoes are coming nice. All right. You're my focaccia. Put you to the back for a second. Every cutting board has two sides. Wash off my knife quick because we don't want the onion. All right, two things. One, we're going to be working with the board big time and not near a flame, so we are actually going to do proper board routines. There we go. Back over. Because we're going to need one more onion in a minute anyways. But I want to get the pizza going. Knock the dough down. Because we need to knock the dough down. Okay? There we go. I think we're going to do 300 grams each, but let's see. Put this on, tear it so it's at 0 with the bowl. And how much dough do we actually have? 2,218 grams. 2,218 makes it 700 grams. 7 of them at 3 each, 300 grams each. All right, so we're going to make 300 gram doughs. And we're going to knock them down a little bit. And then we're going to grab a pan so that we can put the dough balls in. Okay. $300 grams each, right? So, open that up. 259. Don't forget, I still got my onions. $259, so I need 40 more grams. 306, close enough. There's one quick ball. $253. 318, you come off. 310, a little bit more off. 296, close enough. Wait a second. I'm trying. All right, buddy. Let me back up on my chat just a little bit, buddy, because I've been looking at two different chats. Okay? I'm based out of Japan, yes. And I've been to, I've worked in Cologne. And I bought this knife in New York City, guys. I happen to like it. Ah, Campari. I like Campari. I've been to Louisville, Kentucky on a boat cooking. Okay, so I've answered a bunch of the questions. Any other questions as to where I've cooked? I've cooked in Germany, I've cooked in New York, I've cooked in North Carolina. I've cooked on boats going up and down the Mississippi. I've done some cooking in California. Now I'm cooking in Japan. And actually, spaces in Japan are very small. No, this is a Chinese knife. I own, at one point, I had $1,000 worth of knives in New York City. Yeah, my knife kit must have been really expensive. And it was in my car because I was driving to and from catering gigs. Somebody decided one night to break into my car and walked off with my toolbox. In the meantime, everybody grabs chef's knives in the kitchen. Everybody, waiters, waitresses, and they break open cans and stuff. This scares people. Any chef worth their salt can use any knife. So I picked this up, and most people in catering places don't touch it. When you're working off-site catering and you have actors and actresses waiting tables for the party, what happens is you end up with your knife being used. A friend of mine had a very expensive Japanese French knife. The French knife's tip broken because some idiot decided that they were going to put the tip into a can to open the can that way. He lost his money and he lost his paycheck that night replacing the knife, and he got fired. I like all knives. Depending on what I'm going to do with it, depends on the knife I get. This one is an all-purpose knife. I can use it as a cleaver. I can use it as a regular cutting knife. You go to most Chinese restaurants, that's what they have. And then they have small little paring knives or tourne knives. So, yeah, that one's a little big, but we'll go with it for the big pan. All right, I need to put some water in the onion so they can keep caramelizing nicely. About the space I'm in, I'm above a 6-car garage that my father-in-law built because we have farm equipment for the farm that he left my wife and I. So I'm in the middle of building this space out. This space in Japan is huge. Almost unheard of for most people. And most of what you're seeing me playing with, when we moved, I carried it from the States. Very little of this I bought when we were here to start with. But I'm watching 2 chats, my friend. Oh! Hi, Ann. How's the lockdown going in Ohio? My sister-in-law just joined the chat, guys, on Facebook. Hope everybody there is doing good. Okay, guys. No, this is my house. No, this is a Chinese knife. This is not a cleaver. It's not thick enough. I can't cut bones with this. I will break it. The tang isn't all the way in the back. Not a rented kitchen, as I just said. We inherited this. Yeah, I'm streaming Facebook, YouTube Live or YouTube events, and Twitch. So, and trying to run as a one-man band. Very much of a very interesting deal. We're probably going to end up on Twitch hard, but for now, the more viewers, the better, guys. So we're going to stretch this. No, I am not a pizza person, okay? If you want to know if I make pizzas for a living, nope, never did. I'm doing this because my kids love pizza. And a small pizza here is 20 bucks. I said that right. Small pizza here is $20. And so, here we go. You got one kind of round. Yeah, Facebook. Check our onions because we don't want them to burn. Sauce has cooked down nicely. Yeah, 20 US bucks. Remember, this isn't the United States. Pizza's a luxury here. my son last night at 9 made a wonderful, wonderful cream curry. I call it a stew, but here they call it a curry. All right, so we have more dough. I've seen them here roll the pizza dough, actually take a rolling pin to it. I'm a cook. I make everything I can by myself. And when we went into lockdown, I started making more stuff. My problem is I don't make one or two. In this case, I'm knocking out 7 pizzas in one shot. Before I bought this big, huge monstrosity behind me. And no, you do not need my oven, okay? There is nothing about my oven that can't be done without that oven. Because this is the first time in my life I've ever had one. And most places I worked at never had one. The only thing about this oven that is really spectacular, and you can get it in smaller venues, smaller sizes, is it's a steam oven, okay? Hey, I'll have to go there next time I go to Tokyo. Probably in about a year. Tokyo is an expensive trip, guys. I keep going over to check on my onions. They're coming nice. Getting nice and sweet and brown, caramelized. Yes, guys, browning onions is called caramelization. Okay? So, I will use those terms interchangeably because some people will understand browning, some people will understand caramelization. As long as you understand how to make it, you're doing good. A year ago, we had onions in the fields. Before I had to fly to the States for reasons. We ended up with onions over a year ago coming out of our field. I think we had 200 pounds of onions, red and white. Yeah, not round on this one. Oh well. Still making nice friggin' pizza. I showed 3 books. I showed Larousse, I showed Escoffier, and I showed herrings. Herrings is a spectacular book. However, to use herrings, you have to understand what the ratios are for cooking. So when he says use a mirepoix, 1, you need to know mirepoix. 2, you need to know what the ratio is for the mirepoix, and then be able to judge how much you're actually going to need, because there are no measurements except for his alcoholic beverages. He doesn't go into how much of any item to put. He just gives you the ingredients. So it'd be like telling a carpenter, oh yeah, you need to make a triangle, and then he needs to figure out how big the triangle has to be that he has to build, or the workbench he has to build on site to actually do his work, etc. This is what you need. You have to figure out the exact amounts. Okay? And no, I am not a pizza guy. I am amazed by people who can do that, who can flip these. Okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to need one more pan. And I know I'm going to have to spray that pan down. But the onion soup is going good. Yeah, I use herrings because I went to school and learned a lot. And in the end, that's what you use. It's not something you use at the beginning. A little bit more water so we can keep the caramelization going. So right now I'm not adding a lot of water. I'm basically cooling the pan down and pulling up all the browning that's happening at the bottom of the pan so that the onions can keep caramelizing slowly. Because we still have to cut one more batch of onions, one more onion for the focaccia. Alright, so we've got 6 of those. I need one more pan. And this one is not coated, so we're going to coat it quickly, sufficiently. There we go. She's coated. So yes, I like herrings. Herrings is a very wonderful book. It's more of a lexicon, not really a full-blown cookbook. You can go there, get the recipe, know how much you need 5 cans of this, 2 pounds of that. No. Like I said, it tells you what you need. The other day I made moussaka here because I wanted moussaka. I missed moussaka, okay? The only way to get the moussaka going, when I started looking everything up, and I had a general idea, was, okay, we need a bolognese. How do you make a bolognese? Made a bolognese. Or a meat sauce, in this case. It's not really a true bolognese, but it's close enough. And, thickened milk, bechamel, got it. And that's how I did that. But my wife would be like, well, what do you mean by that? And that's totally okay. There we go. Pan number 7. So, double my recipe, 300 grams a ball. You get 7. That's still going good. A little bit more too high over the... So like I said, take a little bit of time. Now we need to finish up our sauce. Turn off our tomato sauce. Let's go over here one more time behind me because I need to do that. And I'm just going to go show you what I'm about to do because it's basically really simple. I'm going to take a burr mixer, and I have a really good one. Trust me, my wife wanted to kill me when I bought this. Okay, burr mixer. Okay, Krups makes a nice home model. I break home models, so I don't have them. One of the reasons I go for professional line stuff. And I'm just going to grind this down. Sauce is done, guys. All right, so we now have a marinara or a pizza sauce all ready, set up, ready to go. We're gonna go stir our onions again. Almost ready to start this. Finishing up our onion for our onion soup. All right, we have this. We don't need a lot of tomato sauce. So we're going to use a 1.5 ounce, 2 ounce ladle, in this case 45 milliliters, because I have a 1.5. My 2 ounces in the house. Going to grab some cheese for pizza, closest I can get to here for mutz or mozzarella. No, actually I'm making 3 items. Lay it down, put it around. The focaccia is for tomorrow because I need the dough made. Okay. And my family will eat probably 4 of these pizzas right now because it's getting late here. Okay. We're about to do the calamari. It's behind me. It's finished up, it's defrosting. Because I bought the big we bought a big bag of that for like $4 of the legs. Because we decided I shouldn't clean it. Because they do sell it whole here. Which means I have to go in, gut it, and everything else. By the way, I serve the fish with the head on here. So, all you guys in the States, we have bones in our fish. Not only do we have bones in the fish, we usually serve it with the head on. Man, I'm more European than you'd ever think. And nobody gets upset if you get a bone in the fish. The bones are natural, guys. Bones are natural. They're part of the fish. There's never a guarantee you're going to get all the damn bones out. Sorry. That's not a guarantee. We do our best. Especially in the States where everybody goes, "There's a bone in my fish. Ah!" Or, "It's not totally white at the bones on my chicken thigh. Ah!" You guys are annoying sometimes. Yeah, we're ready now to finish up, to add in the water and the bouillon for the soup. So we'll turn it off for a second. Tracy Wise, good morning, sir. How are you and the wife and the baby? Tracy Wise, spectacular man. His wife, absolutely awesome. Some of the best people I know. It's a pleasure to see them. So Tracy, does this beat my cooking on the boat? When we lived in New York, we lived on a 40-foot Hatteras. And Tracy started out on a 40-foot Chris Craft, I think. That was owned by Robert Bellinosh earlier. So we were neighbors way back when. What was checked? Let me go check, because the only mods I have are the bots. But you guys on Twitch and on YouTube, there is a 30-second delay in sending messages, okay? That allows me to catch some people, because I had to ban somebody earlier today. By the way, I can't bring in pepperoni. That is banned to be brought in from overseas. Meat product, not allowed. So, I'm going to be contacting a friend of mine, John, and his wife, Elena. And Elena taught me Spanish at the culinary. And John is a spectacular chef. He now owns a pork producing company in Wisconsin. Really, really, really good. Homestead. And he also does a lot of cooking. Yeah, you're growing. So, basically, I'm going to get him to give a lesson on how to make pepperoni one day. And I'm going to take notes. Because the last time I did any charcuterie was 1988. That was the last time I did charcuterie, guys, for anything other than something quick, a quick mousse in a cake, in a plastic wrap that you poach. Because people thought it was cool to have that every once in a while, and it was one of those hoity-toity things very few people actually ordered. But the chef wanted it on the menu. All right, so we've got all of our pizzas ready. We're going to walk over to the oven. I'm going to go to the breads. I'm going to tap pizza. And we're going to cook it for light. We're going to cook it for about 5 minutes. So we're going to hit the timer. And we're going to roll it down to 5 minutes. We're going to let the oven start to preheat, and I'm going to show you that, okay? So basically, no, I'm not bringing the GoPro over. At some point I will have a camera aimed at that I can just adjust on OBS. And no, guys, I'm not going to the other room yet to check why it was not locked. So basically, I chose light coloration in 5 minutes, and there's a setting for it to tell you how to do it, and it's preheating the oven. And then we're going to drop in all 7 of these. Oh yeah, I've been cleaning my. Yeah, sometimes the computer mods don't get it. You can't win, guys. So let's set up our focaccia, because that's going to have to proof one more time. The computer mods are not exactly wonderful, but they do work. So I'm not going to turn them off, because they do the job of catching. I had one guy show up on this before most of you guys joined, and he had a mouth on him. It was a disgusting mouth on him. You know, I'm not playing something or doing something where swearing and adult stuff is not allowed to have. And this was on Twitch, guys. Thank you. Please remember to follow. We kind of like that. Follows, likes, comments, they all are good. Okay? Quick C on this, because I just want to split this into thirds. Okay, 2,000, say 2,100, 700 grams a piece. $6.34. 680 something. 715, that's good. See, I do need to buy a speed rack, guys. Yeah, so I have the mods on because I'm trying not to have streams where people are not allowed, people feel they're not wanted, or kids are not allowed, because, sorry guys, kids are very important here. Okay, so basically, let me turn the camera back now. All I've done is I've portioned my focaccia dough because I needed to get that done at 700 grams a piece because the weight was about the same. And I'm going to have a lot of dishes to do later. This pan Rational sells, the guys that sell the oven. Not cheap, but we bought the oven, so we bought some of their stuff. We got the pizza and grill from them. We got the other two thinner pans from them. Really good stuff. Very expensive. You do not need this. I keep saying it. You can go with this pan for everything all the time. And 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch half or full hotel pans. They call these GNs for some reason. I'm not sure why Rational decided to call them GN, but they did. So I'm going to accept the fact that it's called a GN by them. And Rational, I hope you're watching. Because sponsorships are good. They allow me to do more. Yeah, I said that. Okay. So we're going to spray it quickly because hell of a lot easier than doing it any other way. We're going to put the focaccia in there. We're going to get the focaccia all the way to the end of the pans. So to do that, we just keep stretching it, trying not to create holes. And you do that by creating a ball with everything on the outside. Damn it. Come on. We'll try it again. Yes, not exactly what I do, guys. I keep saying that. Can you make pizza? Yeah. Is it something I do on a continuous basis? No. We're almost ready to kick the pizzas off, and then I'll call the kids when they're ready. But I met this purveyor who was selling some really good pizza dough flour. And the focaccia flour, oh my God. Have not been able to find them since then. I have to go through my notes. Welcome to Christmas. Okay, because it is a combination oven, make sure you let the steam leave the oven before opening it fully, or you're going to get a nasty little piece of work happening. All right, open. So in go all my pizzas. Two. Three. Does not matter if they're on top of each other or I split them up a little bit. But yeah, we'll split them up just a hair. Bring you out and close it up. That's it. So we don't want to punch a hole that large enough for this, almost. We just push it into the corners once we get it somewhere close. Okay, and then we'll let it rest because the dough will come back or retard a little bit in this process. Okay, see it's coming back now. That's when the dough springs, and the easiest way to solve that is to be patient. Off to the side. The next two pans. See, 5 minutes we get pizza. That's it. No more is necessary, guys. Do not make it so you can see it. That stuff tastes the nastiest you've ever seen. That is some nasty stuff. So, yeah. Calamari will be 5 minutes, guys. And we're going to toss it in some semolina flour with a little bit of Paul Prudhomme magic seasoning, because the stuff is spectacular. And Paul Prudhomme was a spectacular Cajun chef. He has some of the best spice mixes out there. And used carefully, you'll never even know that it's supposed to be spicy. There we go. Same thing. Gonna keep moving it, keep pushing it, keep allowing it to spring back. Yeah, I know, most people do one item. Here. I am. I'm cooking dinner. Okay. Let it spring back a little bit, and we'll move to the last one. Then we'll get a bowl and we'll get the calamari ready. But you don't want to flour the calamari before you absolutely are ready. We're going to add a little bit of oil to it because we're going to cook it in the oven. So if we're going to cook it in the oven, we're going to have to make it seem somewhat like it's been deep fried. And yes, we are trying to stay healthy here, especially right now because a lot of people are not working out a lot. You know, it's very hard to go out and go to the gym when the gym is closed. I understand that. So, as you can probably tell if you're looking at my stomach, I don't go to the gym a lot. Used to go to the gym a lot. Then I went to a kitchen. The kitchen became the gym. There's only one problem with the kitchen being the gym. Access to the stuff you're not supposed to be doing when you're working out. There we go. So yeah, about 700 grams a pop makes this really easy. And no, I cannot do that off the top of my head and tell you how many ounces it is. But I do believe it's 2 kilos to a pound as a general rule. All right, so it's going to spring back. That's why we're waiting. All doughs do this. Okay? Every dough in the world does this. Does not matter what type of a dough you're trying to work on. What do we look like here? Oh man, we're ready with 1 minute left. Look at that. All right, move you over, move you over. Get you and you out of the way. We still got focaccia to knock out. Less than a minute, guys. One. Pop the oven. Do not stand in front of the oven. Remember, it's a steam oven. It will burn you. Steam burns. There we go. There's your bottom one. Okay, we're starting to get this even better. Because even I am getting better at this. Miracle of miracles. Okay, we got more pizza coming out. Welcome to Personal Pan Pizzas, and I will show you in a minute. There you go, pizza. Move the oven back to the middle and go there. All right, what do we got? What are we showing now for this? Okay, so we want to add the bouillon to the soup. So we're going to add it now. Then we're going to add some water. You're going to let those cool a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of the chicken, about the same amount, a little bit less. There we go. Okay, gets that out of the way. So we have pizza. I'm so happy I could cry. All right, we were doing focaccia. So let's get the tomato focaccia out of the way, because that will be the simplest one to do. So we're going to take the tomatoes. I'm going to come back to that knife because we're going to need it again. I'm going to make sure it's up on the edge. I'm going to take this and we're going to do this. We're going to tear it and just put some tomatoes here. Let me move you over again. All right, there we go. Okay. Looked like it stopped for a second. Okay, move that over. Well, basically for the focaccia, you're just going to do this. Just add the tomatoes in. We want the tomato juice to go. That's good stuff, guys. Okay. Okay, so it's about 3 of these tomatoes for the focaccia. That's basically focaccia right here. Pizza dough and tomato. Add some of the juice. Move it around a little bit, make it yummy. Welcome to tomato focaccia. Just to get the tomatoes out of the way, because it's time to knock out the calamari. We need a little bit of olive oil, which we'll add at the last minute, and some basil, which we can now put on. Just spread it out. And don't be late with the basil or oregano. I don't have oregano, I have basil. We'll get some oregano, and it dried works really well, guys. Okay, there you go. That's it. Now we let it proof. So we'll move this off to the side for now because that's done. Calamari time. Let me get a bowl. Right there. Thank you very much. There's our bowl. Oh man, that smells good. All right, we got some of our semolina right here. Yes, I have some semolina flour. Not a lot, but a little. Okay, so we're going to use some of this. There you go. And we're going to store it. Yeah, at some point I'm going to end up with a lot more of this, but I have yet to find a place to actually get the bags. Alright, so we got some semolina. Let's add a little bit of flour to it. And yes, people use regular, just straight flour also, guys. I learned this from a really spectacular Italian place. Spent many years there. And now for my mix, we're going to do this. And I'm out of the poultry magic. I don't have the fish magic. So I have their meat magic. All right, we're good. So I'm going to head to the oven. I'm going to go to the fish, and we're going to see what settings they have for the fish. Okay? Yes, I'm running this more as a let's feed the kids thing, which is what you should be doing. Fish, pan fried, thin. Make it semi-light, and the duration, it's calamari, guys. Say 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. We're going to need another bowl because we're going to have to add some oil to it. Now let's get the calamari. Calamari in here. Now, if I was doing seafood sauce, I would actually add this to the sauce, to my tomato sauce. But I'm not, so I'm not going to. Pizza's now cold enough to be cut, still warm. We need some oil. I like sesame oil. Look at that. See? That one's just in case I did not have enough. And that's it, we're coated. So I'll add a little bit of oil to this, because that's how we're going to add our oil. Just like doing karaage. That's where I'm taking part of this recipe from, guys. We'll mix this up. So it's coated. Now we need a pan to cook it in. Luckily, I have a bunch of these 2-inch half twos. And this is the experiment. I have not done this before. I figured I'd drop it in a homemade fryer. Nope, my wife wants it this way. We'll do it this way. Just add it all, so we don't miss a leg. Missing a leg would be really bad, guys. Where are we on this? Almost ready. Notice? Spread it out. You go there. We need 1 onion cut. That's why I didn't do that. Because I'm going to need, you go there, you go there. Dun, 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 dun. Open that, let it all come out. How many of you people would go live on the internet and try something? And 4 minutes on pan fry setting. Let's give it a whirl. Okay, maybe we'll need one more. We're going to need one more, guys, just to make sure we have enough for the onion focaccia, which needs to be finished. Remember, I thought I'd have a little bit more time, but you got to keep your eye on things. Because the weather and the humidity are going to mess with you when you're cooking. And when you're baking, it's still going to mess with you. So to do the onions for the focaccia, you cut this way. Okay, because we're going to caramelize these. And we're going to put them, and we're going to let them rise. Because you have to proof it one more time, and I need one of my cast irons. And Neil and Suzanne should recognize the cast iron because they used it way back when. Yes, the cast iron pans made it all the way here, guys. And because this is the fastest way to get oil in the pan. Remember what I said, I'm not a fan of cooking with flavored oils. Alright, we can slow down a little bit now. Thank you for being patient. Okay, last time I did that. Oh, that's looking good. All right, so we're going to do this on a low flame. Once it starts, and it's just starting, we're going to let this caramelize. And then we're going to put it on the focaccia. In the meantime, I'm going to cut off Twitch for about 2 seconds and go in the other room and let everybody know that the pizza is ready. Alright. Yeah, unless you want to come over here and eat the pizza. Of course it's easier. I got a whole bunch of stuff still. See you in a few. Just stay off to the side. I love you. Bye. Alright. Okay, guys. Here we go. Turn that off. We're going to go back to ICC, white bread proof. We want to do this, I don't know, 50 minutes, 45 minutes? Let's go 30 minutes and see what happens. Close it. Open it. It's going to get real loud, guys. It's knocking out all of the heat. And we're back. Okay, thank you for being patient. We're cooling off our oven to get the focaccia in. Tomato focaccia is ready. We got the onions going. Calamari just came out. The experiment looks kind of good. So we're going to plate that up for the family. Okay, what's happening with the oven? And here we go. There we go, guys. Okay, cameraman to make life easy. Anybody want to come here and just play with being the cameraman? There we go. Okay, we got the calamari done. We're cooling off our oven. Because we need to do that. Make sure our onions are not burning, they're caramelizing. That looks so good. Let's plate it up. We'll taste a piece. We'll cut some pizza for the kids. Okay, needed my bigger pan. What she's done, does it beat deep fried calamari? Probably not. Is it healthier than deep fried calamari? Even with the sesame oil, I would say without looking at the nutritional values, yes. Safer? Yes. Alright, how would I do this? Same way I set it up. 350 degree oven, cook it till it's tender, not overly cooked, and you're good. Now you know why we have a bain-marie. I just use it to raise my spoon so we can keep caramelizing those onions. So let's give it a taste. Yeah, I needed to coat it a little bit more with oil. Is it in there? Yeah. Okay, pizza. So have you ever been to a pizza place and you're watching them cook pizza? And they keep tipping it up, check the bottom. They're looking for that. They're looking for the brown. Because that tells you the dough is cooked. Okay? That's true with bread also, guys. Pizza's a bread. It's a flatbread, but it's a bread. Go that way. Go that way. Okay? So, here you go, guys. First load of pizza. Yeah, I'm online. Tracy's joined us. The Ballinachas have joined us. The Holtzes have joined us. Okay? So, yeah. All right. We can put in the first load for the focaccia to have it rise, to proof it. And everything is just exploding today. Oh, this is coming nice. Look at that. I'll show you in 1 second, guys. Let me grab a hand towel. You're going to want some bowls for the marinara. So you can dip the focaccia, the calamari. Okay? See, we're getting some nice caramelization on that, guys. I'll cut one more pizza for everybody for now. There we go. Okay. Couple of more seconds for this. Just to make sure the onions are cooked. And then we'll head back to the onion soup, guys. Because today is a busy day. All right, so what are we doing over here? Let me move stuff around. They're in the Bain Marie. They're right in there. Okay. All right, guys. So, we got some more pizza cut for them. We'll get to that in a minute. We're going to turn this off. And now, we're basically going to do the same thing we did with the tomatoes with the onion focaccia. Just going to put this on here. Like this. Spread it around a little bit. Okay. You can put onion, you can put some olives with this and other stuff. Yeah. Right there. Marinara. Okay, we'll move this to here. Good luck, and we'll move the next one over. For your calamari, right? How's the calamari? Yeah, first time I've tried that way. We're gonna have to work on that calamari recipe a little bit, guys, but for an initial, I'll take it. Okay. Spread this out a little bit. Go there. Not much, but we'll add the flavor. There we go. A little bit of basil, because again, I don't have any oregano. Very hard to find here in any type of large amount, and I'm not stingy with the stuff. So those small little bottles that they sell don't last long. Okay, and we'll throw it in, let it proof for 30 plus minutes. Start out at 30, and if we have to, we can increase the time. And we'll go back to our soup. Close the door. By the way, the timer won't start till the oven comes back up to the proper spot, so we're good with that. I'm pushing it. I am pushing that oven a little bit. Now we need to add water. So let's add some water. Use the same bowl I was using. Cold water, guys. Okay, we'll add some water. Now we'll crank the temperature back up. We'll give it a nice good stir. You know what? Let it fly. Let it fly. Fly like an eagle. There we go. We got water. Anybody who wants to scream and yell about amounts, I will be posting these on Facebook and on the site that I'm building. So all that will be out there for you. Okay, a pizza recipe I had from one of the very first posts I put up on Facebook. That's it, guys. We have soup, onion soup. We'll put some basil and some faint herbs in there. Thyme. You can add some white wine when you and reduce it before you add the water or the stock. If you have time, you can actually cook the bouillon cubes in with it, and that is one of the recommended methods. But I would not put. And the easiest, best method for doing any and all of this is. Oh, Jennifer. Hi, Jen. We're just finishing up here. But guys, if you heard me talking about a spectacular chef who's cooking on with the toaster oven, she just joined the show, so I'm a very happy person. Because she puts out some spectacular food. What's up? You want to say hello to everybody? Step in. Okay, there's my youngest. You're gone now. Okay, he likes to pop in and out, guys. That's it. We have onion soup. Now you want to do au gratin, make your croutons, a little provolone, and you're good. Like I said, very simple, basic recipes. Everything you can do at the house. You do not need to run a big, huge commercial setup. Not even close. Oh, and Marsha's watching. Hi, Marsha. Yeah, Facebook tells you who's showing up. So, that's it, guys. I'm just going to bring it to a boil, cook the soup for 30 minutes on low, and I'm done. Any questions? Queries? Because for the focaccia, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set it on the pizza setting. Set it on the pizza setting on light, and we're just going to let it cook. So we're done. Pizza recipe, pizza dough recipe is here. The sauce recipe I showed you. Pomodoro, whole garlic, saute the garlic, basil, dried basil, whole fresh basil, your choice. I use dried because that was here. Afterwards, burr mixer, blend it, or put it in a blender. Or don't even bother putting it in a blender. Use it as a pomodoro sauce. That's also okay. A little bit on the dough after you fashion it, some cheese, put it in the oven. In this case, I finally figured out what the settings were. But 350, 400 degrees till the bottom's brown and the top's not burnt. You're good. Start out, check it every 5 minutes. Onion soup, slice the onion, caramelize. In this case, because most people do not get their hands on beef stock and chicken stock, bouillon, 50-50, chicken, beef, sherry if you can find it, white wine if you have it, we did not. And I added water because I use bouillon, but otherwise just add stock, 50-50 blend. Works out really, really, really well. And focaccia, pizza. It's a thick pizza. Sicilian style, no cheese pizza. We just let it rise, so I'm forcing the rise in a proof box. You want to make a proof box? Heat your oven up to 200 to its lowest setting, turn it off, with the pan of water in the bottom. Once it gets the temperature, keep it at the lowest temperature, turn it off, let it cool off a little bit, and throw in whatever it is you want to raise. Whatever bread you want to add. There's your proof box. I tell you to do a sternos in an enclosed speed rack, but how many people have sternos in an enclosed speed rack? Just don't. No, there's nothing on there. You want to see it? It's inside. Okay. OBS is inside. So let me bring this up a little bit more now because my picture has finally shown up on the only way I can tell my site. There we go. You should now be able to see me. I should be in this picture now. We'll see in a couple of seconds because only way I can see it live is to go in that other room. And then I'm not here. I need to go up, or am I good now? I'm good now? And the meters are working on the volume? Audio, bottom one with the volume meter.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, then I'm good. Yay, see? Yeah, look at that. I finally caught up. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, 7 pizza, 3 focaccia, onion soup. Not a biggie. And all while relaxing, because I was not rushing through any of it. So, remember, if you enjoyed, follow, subscribe, like, dislike. Creative, what is that? What type of criticism again? Huh?
Creative.
Not creative. Constructive. Constructive criticism in the comments. And as always, I hope you enjoyed and you learned something. Have a great night, or day, or afternoon. Bye.